afternoon. So the harvest was just from 5 trees, and this is the amount of this is the amount of fruit that I got. It's literally a basket full. Yeah, I mean, like, see, the thing with some of the fruits is, especially the longans, even though they're not like tan, they're not like sand yellow, brown, it is still really good, even if it's not what you would normally find in the store in terms of the color. Oh yeah. So, so all of these, most tropical fruit trees in the Central Valley are pollinated by either they're self-pollinating by insects or by the wind. Most Annonas, specifically the atemoyas and the atemoya, sugar apples, custard apples, those they need some assistance. However, I think I might have figured them out in terms of getting them to self-pollinate with very little interaction from me. So let's focus on this guy right here, the Gavner atemoya. Okay, relatively mature guy. He's going like 6, 7 years old. So with this particular tree, actually, there's two of them. This tree, and also there's a different atemoya on the other side as well. With these two sets of trees, I actually have been experimenting this year, trying to get them to self-pollinate, and I think I've got it figured out. So in the native climate, okay, the chamoyas and the atemoyas, they originate from the Andes mountains where it's humid, very humid. And over there in the native climate, they are practically self-pollinating. In the Central Valley, I know in the beginning, I recommend that you hand pollinate if you want fruits. However, specific to these two trees, I actually have been increasing the humidity right around this area. And as a result, if you come here, I did not hand pollinate these fruits. There's not a whole lot of them. I want to say there might be like, I don't know, like maybe a dozen or so. But yeah, these were not hand pollinated. They essentially were hands off, from my perspective. They were pollinated by the tree. Check it out. There's there's some more up there. Well, actually, they're practically everywhere, really. So, so here's the deal, okay? So the Annonas, if you check out this flower here, I'm gonna go and just take it off. So the flowers, there's two stages to them. When they are formed, the first stage, when it opens up like this is a female. Yes, this is a female. First stage is a female. And then essentially the following day, overnight, essentially, let me see if I can find a male flower. So yeah, this is a female. And then what is going to happen is if I leave this flower on the tree for long enough, it will then turn into a male, which the difference between male and female is just that it's open way more. That's really it. So in the native climate, what happens is because of the humidity, okay, the pollens stick onto the flower. And then as it becomes a male, it essentially self-pollinates the flower. So in my case, what have I been doing? What I've been doing is, as an experiment, just kind of watering this section heavily, like every single, well, not every single night, but most evenings. And in doing so, it of course increases the humidity, and as the sun goes down, the humidity mostly remains. So that's how I've been getting this particular this particular tree to self-pollinate. In fact, if you come here, like I said, there's another buddy over here. Also, you know, I did not hand pollinate these guys. They are, I mean, this particular fruit was self-pollinated because of, again, me hosing it down each evening, increasing the humidity. Now, at nighttime, uh, our area is actually, I say maybe 50% humidity, which is not bad. But this helps to increase the humidity. Now, if you notice that tree, actually, let's, if you go back to that particular angle, if you've noticed this tree, the way that I prune it also makes a huge difference. I mean, most trees, it's ideal that you want maximum airflow to go through the branches, but not with this particular tree. The way I prune it is I'm treating it more like a citrus, with like an umbrella, trapping in the humidity. So the cool thing about the fruit self-pollinating is with Annonas, because of our short summer, you actually don't want a whole lot of fruits. I mean, in any given year, I normally have maybe a dozen or so fruits on the tree, because right around December, right when the cold hits, that's right around the time that you want to pick those fruits. So that way they can then ripen on the countertop. Just because right around that time, because of the rain, there's a good chance that the fruits will start to split up and split apart, and it's just not good. So by leaving the tree with maybe like a dozen fruits, it allows most of the energy to go to the fruit, and makes the fruits like massive. So this is experimental. I'm gonna try to repeat the process again next year, just to see if I get the same results. But I have a strong feeling that that's what it takes. Now, in the wild, if you follow me, actually, yeah, if you follow me, in the wild, okay, even if it doesn't, even if it's not the humidity that pollinates it, there are specific beetles that uh, has a hand in pollinating their flowers. So these are various atemoyas, uh, a bunch of flowers, but no fruits. And that is because, unlike the other two trees, I have not been watering this section, hosing them down, that is, increasing the humidity. And instead, I'm just leaving it just to allow the tree to grow. But next year, I'm going to repeat the process and hose this area down as well. And if my theory is correct, these trees should start to produce fruits due to, again, the increased humidity. So yeah, I mean, they are at a mature age, in my opinion, that they can set fruit. So that's just an observation that I've made. Um, yeah, that's really it. I mean, again, I mean, you know, like when you look at the longans, okay, these guys come May. Oh man, look at like the size of this particular fruit. These guys come May, because of the flowers are so fragrant, it attracts all sorts of flies, which in turn help to pollinate it. But you know, I'm guessing the flowers from the Annonas aren't fragrant enough, or they're not sweet enough to attract the bees. So yeah, you're gonna. There's some techniques with getting them to self pollinate, but alternatively, nothing wrong with hand pollinating. It's just you just got to do it. I just find it easy to just hose them down with water. Just lazy, yes. But either way, I mean, yeah. So again, just a quick summary, just with Annonas, because of our quote quote short winter, summer, because most of the time these guys start to produce flower right around May or June. You've only got maybe like 5-6 months before winter hits, so you really do want to limit the amount of fruits that these trees can support before they before winter hits. So all right, have a good afternoon.